What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Maverick Raven coming at you with another video. As I said in my previous video, kind of a busy day, kind of a stressful time. Everything's going on, a bunch of stuff. The news is just never ending. I don't remember like my early childhood and young adulthood, and if you want to call it middle adulthood, but if you want to call it any, I don't remember any other time in my life where it's just non-stop news after news after news every day. It's like 5 or 6 things happen that are like, what the, and you're thinking that you're not living on reality prime, right? Because things are crazy. But guys, yeah, this is supposedly this is objective reality. We're not in the Matrix or anything like that, but it's got me believing that maybe this is the Matrix, and then maybe the Matrix conspiracies are real. Because check this out, you guys. We got here from the Epic Times. Harris promises to represent all Americans after Biden's garbage remark. It looks, and I mean it for real. And you guys know I'm a conservative, or should know I'm a conservative. And if you don't, all cards on the table. I am a conservative that tries to be as objective as possible. And I'm pretty liberal on certain things, like drugs and stuff like that, and I don't know about sex work. Sex work is kind of confusing for me because I don't. To me, morally, it looks like something that we shouldn't want, but I know that people do it anyways, kind of like drugs, So it's like. But anyways, let's get into this. But before we do, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. That's what keeps the lights on in this place, and we don't like the lights to dim, do we? Oh, that looks crazy. But yeah, you guys, so that's what keeps the lights on in this place. That's what keeps me wanting to do this for you. Plus, we would love to have you be the newest member of the flock. The flock is for life. Come join us. We'd love to have you. The air is for everyone. Now, let's get into this. Absolutely insane. And I've been saying that a lot because I'm tired. I am tired of having to sugarcoat things. I'm tired of having to maybe be even overly tolerant, overly polite with people that are just screaming hatred in my face. And I'm not going to pretend to be some saint, I've told people to F off before, and but it's getting really tiring. Donald Trump had that rally in the Madison Square Garden. It was awesome. The patriotism through the roof. Everything was cool. Everyone was happy. That was a real event of joy. The guy from Kill Tony, Tony Hinchcliffe, he gets on. He makes some comment about Puerto Rico being the island of garbage. He said there's an island full of garbage or whatever, made of garbage or whatever. And it's called I think it's called Puerto Rico. That was pretty funny. But see, I'm a Cuban that takes all of the offensive stuff and the racist stuff, and I think it's funny. Because when you boil it down, racism is ridiculous. Racism doesn't make sense. It excludes you from opportunities that other people might bring to the table. Whether that's, jobs or ideas. Like I believe the first open heart surgery was done by a black black doctor. Like these, we are stronger together. What I don't believe is in DEI. And I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, what's DEI? No, DEI is didn't earn it, okay? Straight up. That's all it is. Didn't earn it. This woman is definitely a DEI hire. She's constantly showing that she's not intelligent, that she probably slept her way to the top because she had that affair with Willie Brown. She uses people. She says whatever is politically expedient at the moment. She's a danger to the United States. So how do they report on the MSG rally, the rally in the garden? Oh, it's funny, blah blah. The Nazis were supporting, Hitler or whatever in 1939. What? For starters, that was the old Madison Square Garden. The building that they were in now, it's a new building. It's in a completely different location. I get what you're saying. But what you're trying to imply, mainstream media, is that the people that are going over there are a bunch of Nazis. And that is BS. It's not true. It doesn't push political discourse forward. It doesn't reach across the aisle. It doesn't do anything but divide this country further. And I believe that Obama started this division. He really did. And it's only been getting worse because of these Democrats. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Yes, there are bad elements on the conservative side. Of course. I never said that there wasn't. I would never say that there isn't. Because to think that everybody in your group is going to be normal and well-adjusted, that's insane, you know? But how is this woman, Kamala Harris, who I have very little respect for, if any, because she's proven to be nothing but an evil, inauthentic, freaking, you know, artificial, the perfect politician, like I've said before, and I do not mean that in a good way. She will say whatever it takes to get power, and that's what Democrats do. And I believe it was Ted Cruz that said a few years ago, oh wow, do you guys want power? You guys really want power, and you'll say anything to get the power. I really hope you never get that power. And it's true. This is what we're looking at. This is what's crazy. This is the stuff that might really break a country. They say you vote your way into communism, and then you got to shoot your way out. That's the way it happened in Cuba, you guys, for real. You know, everybody was upset about Batista, and then they thought Castro was going to fix everything. He fixed everything all right for himself and his inner circle after, you know, hanging everybody and the public, you know, shootings. And it's bad, guys. Communism is not good, and don't get me started on, oh, you don't know what communism is. Yes, it's a leftist ideal that typically is on the extreme, that believes that government has the overreach and the power, and basically you own nothing and you will have nothing and you will be happy. I'm sorry. I would rather be free. I don't care. I mean that with the bottom of my heart. I would rather be free than live in a secure communist country that nowhere has communism ever worked. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And if you want people to have even more control over your life, how do you argue against that, you guys? Tell me in the comments. How do you argue against someone who's literally like, oh, there is no communism, or she's not a communist? Dude, her father was a Marxist professor. He espoused nothing but Marxist ideas. He taught her everything he knew. She's lying to you about everything. She's not a middle-class kid. She wasn't listening to Snoop or Tupac when smoking weed because they weren't releasing music when that happened. She's lied about everything, but you guys are just, oh, but Trump, but Trump, but Trump. 30,000 lies. It baffles the mind. It just does. So, here's what she said in retort to the Biden conversation about, you know, the garbage. She says now, the vice president and I have made it absolutely clear that we want everyone part of this. I'm sorry, that was Biden. That was Biden, right? Yeah, that was Biden. So it says here, Democratic presidential nominee Vice President Kamala Harris said she disagrees with any criticism of people based on who they vote for, reacting after President Joe Biden's apparent reference to former President Donald Trump's supporters as garbage a day earlier. He didn't like allude to it. He didn't imply to it. He literally said the people of Puerto Rico are all good because they're Puerto Rican and all Puerto Ricans are great. That's literally what he said. That's kind of racist. That's ridiculous to assume that just because you're Puerto Rican, you're great. That's ridiculous. But I'm not going to even care like that because that's the rantings of an old man, right? But then he goes on to say, you want to talk about trash? It's the Trump supporters. Excuse me? So we went from deplorables to cultists to now garbage and whatever else, maggots and whatever else. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm really over it. I just hope that the United States is free enough, well-informed enough, reasonable enough to go forward, because we can't have another 4 years of Democratic leadership. We just can't. We won't exist. Not the way we know, you know, the American experience to be. And it bothers me because now she's acting like she wants to go across the aisle and be this unity, you know, candidate that brings everyone together. This is the same crazy bee that was literally calling Trump Hitler, saying that, you know, when that guy said Jesus is Lord, whatever, she literally said you're at the wrong rally, and then the next day after that had to go to a church that she emptied, by the way, and put only who she wanted in there. And she literally does these fake events, and everybody accepts it. And we're just acting like she wasn't hated months ago and had the lowest approval ratings of a vice president. And we're going to act like that? Like that's not true? Come on, you guys, you're better than that. It says, and then don't forget that on The View, she said that she can't think of anything she would change from Joe Biden, that Joe Biden was great. She won't answer why did she lie about his cognitive decline, when did she notice his cognitive decline, how did she not notice his cognitive decline, none of this, because everything is a word salad. I can't handle it. I personally cannot handle 4 years of Kamala Harris. Not just on the disastrous policies, the price controls, the communism, the government overreach, the freaking what's that? The unrealized gains tax, which is insane. But I literally can't hear her. It's not just the bad policies. It's just that she's gotten to a point where she literally makes my ears want to implode on themselves. It says she disagrees with any criticism of people based on who they vote for, because she still wants your votes. Otherwise, you're trash to her. And you are trash to her. But the left will say, oh, but Trump doesn't care about you. He seems to care about us more than this bitch, for sure. You got me cursing now. Damn it. Sorry, you guys. It's just, she's not good, dude. She's not good. Reacting after President Joe Biden's apparent reference to former President Donald Trump supporters as garbage a day earlier. See, this is the stuff, dude. I will represent all Americans, including those who don't vote for me. No, you won't. No, you won't. All you care about is abortion. That's all you care about. And, of course, to stop fracking and everything else. And you're not going to build a wall. You're a liar. You just say you're going to do these things after they caught on, as popular with Donald Trump and you stole his ideas. She even said now that Donald Trump's going to take your guns. How can you reach across the aisle when you're lying so nasty, so severely about your opponent? And she knows she is. Because she's not a complete dullard. I think she's stupid. I think she's definitely below average in intelligence. But I don't think she's like a simpleton. So she has to know that there are going to be people that she can lie to and they won't even research it. I got people in the family like that. They have serious TDS and they don't care. They don't care if she brings communism, as long as it's not Donald Trump. And that's tribalism, and it's insane, it's toxic, it's poisonous to our country. Her words came amid controversy over Biden's rhetoric with less than a week until the end of the campaign. Meanwhile, Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz on Wednesday sought to downplay Biden's comments in an ABC News interview. When asked about the president's comments, Walz told Good Morning America that the president's clarified his remarks. No, he hasn't. He called us garbage. He called half the country garbage. And that's one of the problems, that we think, the conservatives think that the liberals and the leftists are crazy and irrational, unreasonable, etc. The left thinks we're evil. They think we're racist. They think we're having, MAGA rallies in Madison Square Garden because we're Nazis or whatever. Like, seriously, why would you do that? Why would you say, oh yeah, there was a Nazi rally here in 1939? Why would you say that? When there was a Democrat, just there for Bill Clinton. He did rallies there. He did 2 of them, I think. And it's not important. The building is not important, but they're acting like he selected it for Nazi dog whistle reasons. And it just doesn't make sense. And these people are lying to you, man. And I'm trying to, don't get me wrong, because I always say this, I am trying to red pill as many people as possible. But it's not just because I want you to vote conservatively or because I want you to adopt conservative ideals. It's because you need to question everything and everyone, including me. Look at my sources. Ask me stuff in the comments. I am available, dude. I'm not perfect. No one is. But we should not accept this from our presidential candidates. We just shouldn't. We just shouldn't. And she has made it clear that if you're not on her side, you're against her. Let's be very clear, speaking of clear. Walz, the governor of Minnesota, said in the interview, the vice president and I have made it absolutely clear that we want everyone a part of this. Yet all you guys say is nasty stuff about conservatives. You want everyone to be a part of this because you know that you can't win without the independents and some conservatives. You know that. You're playing a game, and unfortunately, some Americans are stupid enough, and I'm just going to say it straight, some Americans are just stupid enough that they're going to fall for the lies, and they're going to go with the TDS that they might have or maybe don't have, whatever. I want the country better. Abortion does not make the country better. And that is literally the only major issue that Kamala Harris has an advantage on. And honestly, I'm not going to get into it. Abortion's evil. I don't care what anybody says. That's the murder of an innocent baby. I really don't care. You know, and then on top of that, you got, you know, these people talking about how it's a racist thing and it's a thing about white power to stop abortions and all that. Who are the people that are getting the most abortions every year? Who are the ones going to Planned Parenthood, who was founded by Margaret frickin' Sanger, right? And she wanted to end the black race. She was a believer in eugenics. She thought that if she did this, she would be able to get as many black people killed as possible. And guess what? She was right. But people don't know about history. If it happened before you were born, people don't care. But we need to care. Biden made the comment at a campaign call in reference to a joke made by roast comedian Tony Hinchcliffe earlier in the week about Puerto Rico during a Trump campaign rally at New York City's Madison Square Garden. It's complete stupid. It's just sophomoric, dude. Just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. It was a joke. He's a roast comic. I didn't think everything was funny. Some of it was funny. I do question the wisdom in having him there, but whatever. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters, Biden said. See, this is what I'm talking about. He called us garbage. How can you clarify that? He made it as clear as he could. On social media, however, Trump's campaign and Republicans highlighted Biden's comment and called on the Harris campaign to denounce it. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, in an attempt to tie Harris to Biden, wrote that there's no excuse for Biden's remarks and that he hopes Americans reject it. I'm on board with that 100%. Dude, I don't think that Democrats are evil. I just think y'all are misguided and crazy, for real. You know, and I think some of you are like single issue voters and abortion's just not gonna. The only reason that I believe that abortion should happen is to save the life of the mother. And you know what? Let me tell you something. My wife had complications, and she straight up told me that if it's between her and our daughter, that she wanted to die and have our daughter live. That's a mother, dude. And you're going to tell me that there are women out there that are all preaching abortions? Don't have sex, you guys. Use protection. You know, you are acting as if the choice has been taken away from you, and it's the Handmaid's Tale and all this other trash, and we're just using women as baby factories. And you know what? That's not true. The women that get raped and then have an abortion is less than 1%. And that includes also incest. You guys need to understand that you can't argue an issue based on what happens less than 1% of the time. And even if you were raped or whatever, that's still a living creature inside of you. Give birth to the creature and let the baby, the boy, girl, let them live in an adoption agency. I would love to adopt a kid. I really would. I just think that we're charging way too much. It's like $45,000 to adopt a kid now. You know, it's crazy. The White House had sought to clarify Biden's remark, with a spokesman writing on social media that the president saying hateful rhetoric at the Trump rally was garbage. Biden wrote later that evening, earlier today, I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump supporter at his Madison Square rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. He's not clarifying anything. He's just doubling down on it. And I think maybe he hates Kamala. Maybe he does. You know, you never know. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. Latino, well, technically Hispanic, right? But they're just jokes, you guys. They're just jokes. They're just jokes. When did we stop believing in laughter? When did that happen? That's all I meant to say. The comments at that rally don't reflect who we are as a nation, he wrote, referring to Hinchcliffe. This is crazy. This is crazy. Biden did not clarify anything, in my opinion. He just doubled down. I don't know how they could possibly try to spin this as him clarifying anything and making it better. He didn't ameliorate anything here. This is just him doubling down. Biden's comment came as Harris delivered a speech at the Ellipse in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday evening, which Waltz said featured rhetoric that a president of the United States can give. His ticket also is one that can understand we're all in this together and one that welcomes robust debate about the issues, he told Good Morning America. Do you really think you're showing that you are all about the issues when really you're only leading on one issue, which again, like I said, is abortion? And let's call it what it is, baby murder. And the baby murder has got you like 13% on that issue, and as an advantage, you're 13 points up on that issue. But on every other issue, you're down, Kamala. You're just down because you suck. And you are sadly an example of why we need to reform our complete legislature, because this isn't working. We've got idiots, sycophants, and people that completely hate this country, and they're working, getting lobbied, and all sorts of things. This is not the way that the forefathers envisioned this country. And yes, I do believe in the Constitution. And if you don't believe in the Constitution, you should probably save up money as much as you can and get the hell out of this country. Because that's the Constitution and that's for this country. It's a tough sell to try to get somebody to go against the Constitution, the founding document of our country. That's just stupid. Also in the interview, Walsh said that his opponent's campaign is producing really difficult and hateful rhetoric, adding, "We saw our fellow citizens in Puerto Rico have to endure this. We've seen it in Ohio with folks. That's what's going to end." Hateful rhetoric is what you guys spread. It's all lies. It's all hoaxes. You just want to say Donald Trump is lying when you guys misquote him. You guys want to take him out of context and say that's a lie. You guys want to... Everything that has been done mostly by the mainstream media, what they call the legacy media now, and you guys need to research. Remember when researching was okay and it was accepted and you could read? It's like now they don't want you to do your own research. You've got, what's that guy, Brian Stelter, saying, you need to trust us. And it's like, no, you need to go pound sand. I'm not going to trust you. I am going to do my own research. And in doing my own research, there's no way that I could ever support Kamala Harris. Again, all cards on the table. I am a conservative. The chances of me voting for anyone that would be liberal in most cases are very slim to none. But she is like super anything I would ever vote for. Like the complete anathema to anything that I would ever vote for. I would never insult the good people of Pennsylvania or any Americans, even if they chose to support a candidate that I didn't support. That's Governor Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, when asked about Biden's remark. It's crazy. It's crazy. By the way, sweetheart, that's the guy you should have had as your VP. I know he's a Jew and all that, and I know he's pro-Israel, but you need to break apart from your progressive arm because the progressives are killing you. And by the way, they hate you too because progressives don't have loyalty. The moment you're going to the left, right? You're going to the left. Let's say this is two people, one person to two person, right? The moment that you're here and you're like, all right, this is as far left as I can go. This friend now hates this person and is calling this person a right-wing extremist. I've seen it happen. Elon Musk is always tweeting that kind of funny meme. It was funny in the beginning. Now it's just kind of tiresome. It is true, though. The right wing has not changed much, if at all. It's the left that's getting more and more and more extreme, literally to the point where RFK Jr. is now considered right wing. In what world? But you guys, fraudulently took him off the ballot, and then when he said, please take me off the ballot, then you fought to keep him on the ballot because you know he's going to take away votes from Trump. This is all BS, you guys. Don't let yourselves be, blinded here. Just don't let it happen. We can't afford this crap anymore. It's said, who is this? It's certainly not words that I would choose, and I think it's important that we remain focused on the contrast between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump and not attacking supporters of either candidate, Governor Shapiro stated. I agree with that. Hinchcliffe responds to the criticism of his Madison Square Garden set by saying that people have no sense of humor. I agree. Some of his stuff was, in my opinion, just not funny. But at the end of the day, they're just jokes. You can take a joke. You don't have to worry about the microaggressions or the macroaggressions or whatever else. Eat it. Grow up. Eat it. The world is not going to keep telling you yes. Okay? I'm not going to keep telling you yes. For sure. Wild that a vice presidential candidate would take time out of his busy schedule to analyze a joke taken out of context to make it seem racist. I love Puerto Rico and vacation there, he wrote on X, referring to criticism that Walz made about his comments. That's Hinchcliffe talking, Tony Hinchcliffe. On Sunday, as Hinchcliffe was rattling off jokes, he took a shot at Puerto Rico, a U.S. Commonwealth whose residents cannot vote for president. I don't know if you guys know that. Oh, this is the joke. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now, and I think it's called Puerto Rico. That's what Hinchcliffe said. But at the end of the day, Biden is trying to, sabotage the Kamala Harris campaign. Let me know what you guys think down below, man. Less than a week, you guys. Less than a week. All right. See you when I see you. Thanks for hanging out. Always good to see you guys. Stay safe. Stay based.